Press the button, my friend.
The Out of Bounds Show is live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge in the Bank Plus studio.
Check it out.
And good morning. Welcome in. Our guests join us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. This is ESPN 105.9 The Zone, the Out of Bounds Show. Our interview today with Tanner Allen. That's right, the Tanner Allen, TA, National Champion, National Player of the Year, is brought to you by Bulldog Burger in Ridgeland, Starkville, and Tupelo, and Rick's Pro Truck in Gluckstadt, Flowwood, and RPT Commercial in Pearl. We welcome in our friend TA, Tanner Allen, with the Marlins, and also dropping a new hitting course. TA, what's up, buddy? Good morning.
What's up, man? I haven't seen you in a while. How you been?
Man, I'm doing well, my friend. It was so good to hear from you, and love the fact that you're on the show. And I know we're going to talk about this new online hitting course, but first I got to ask, how was hunting season, my man?
You know me too well, man. It was a great hunting season. I ended up killing 2 bucks with my bow, and the ducks did it good this year, man. We had a lot of ducks, and I had a blast. You know, my dad, my buddies, all that, and hunting with friends, man. It was just really good camaraderie, and had a blast, man. It was a great hunting season.
So where all did you hunt ducks? Mississippi Delta, Arkansas, other places? Where did that happen?
So I duck hunted a lot in Starkville, and then, like you said, the Delta. Back home a little bit. Back home, the duck hunters are really mad at the ducks, man. You got to get to the boat launch at like 12:45 just to get a spot to hunt somewhere. And I'm mad at them, but I'm not that mad at them. You know what I mean?
Sure. What's your favorite? Is it bow hunting and deer hunting, or is it duck hunting?
Man, that is a hard decision because there's nothing like having a deer inside of 30 yards with a bow, especially one that's got horns. And but then again, it's pretty neat seeing the orange feet drop out and seeing ducks land in the decoys and get ready to shoot them. That's pretty fun too. I'd say that's about a tie. If you told me you can go to Arkansas and duck hunt, or somebody told me I got a 140 class buck coming into this spot every afternoon at 3:30 and it's a bow kill, man, I'm going with the bow kill. I'm just going to let you know. It's pretty close, though.
I love it. TA, Tanner Allen, National Player of the Year, National Champion for Hail State Baseball, MLB now. He'll be reporting around March 3rd, 4th, joining us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. All right, before I get into some other baseball stuff, this is pretty exciting what you're doing. Walk our listeners through the online hitting course that you've created, TA.
Yeah, man. So here's a little rundown on it. I worked with a lot of kids this off season, in-person hitting lessons, and clearly, man, I kind of got bombarded. Really, it kind of blew up on me. Let's put it like that. I didn't have enough time to work with all of them. I got to go back to spring training and get ready for this year. So I worked with a lot of kids, and it was fun to me to see. There's nothing like the look on a kid's face when they come in and they've been struggling, and then I show them 1 or 2 things, and they start smiling because they're tearing the cover off the ball. You know what I mean? There's nothing more cool to me than that. And so I was kind of like, man, I wish I could help more kids because I got there's kids DMing me from New York, California, Arkansas, Kentucky, Virginia. I had a guy from Virginia wanting to fly down just for a BP lesson for an hour. And I'm like, man, I'd love to work with you, but I just don't think it'd be worth. I don't want you to come down just for an hour. You know what I mean? So they were like, we're trying to make a football game and maybe come down, but it didn't really work out. So I was actually thinking about an idea of how I could reach out to more kids, and my uncle and I were actually on Dauphin Island, talking about my hit lessons and how I was teaching them how to work with kids and stuff. And I told him, I was like, man, I got so many more I just can't get to. And he was like, dude, you need to create an online hitting course. And I kind of took that and ran with it, man. So I got, my videographer, Joe Williams, who was our videographer my last year at state, the year we won the national championship. He did all the video work for Mississippi State. He is outstanding, man. So they're really good videos. It's 22 videos long, It's a one-time, you purchase it one time, you got all access for the rest of your life. It's a one-time access deal. And it's everything I know about hitting, man. It's how to train kids. So it's pretty exciting. It's pretty cool, man. I'm telling you, I put a lot of work into it.
Tanner Allen, TA, on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. And he's got a new online hitting course. All right, where do you go to get this course?
So I got a website up actually. It's ironically at www.tannerallenbaseball.com. You know what I mean? Pretty simple. Just like me, I'm a pretty simple guy, but you can go there and just you can sign up or enter your email address, and I normally send alerts, to just little tips and stuff like that, or there a alert that, well, now that we are live, it'll say sign up here, and you just, click, and you making a little account, and then you're ready to go, man.
So I saw you were doing some things, really cool stuff on, here it is, on your Instagram account. So we want our listeners to go to TannerAllenBaseball.com. Also,
yes,
follow Tanner on Instagram at Tanner Allen, and he's going through some of the things. I mean, if you're 8 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old, 14 years old, trying to get better, trying to figure it out, and then you got the whole curveball, breaking ball coming into play at 13 or 14. This guy could flat out rake, still can.
No doubt, man.
So.
Yeah, man. So it's neat. So actually, a part of my course is a little bit about it. Is I got one section that is, if you're having trouble with breaking balls, I got like a 5 or 6 minute video of just how to get better at it. You know what I mean? What I do, and because man, I don't care who you are, someone's always struggled with something in baseball. Even the greatest of the great, they always struggled, and I talk about that a lot in my course as well. And people don't realize how much failure goes into baseball, and I'm trying to help these kids understand. Hey, I'm one of the best, in college baseball at hitting a baseball, even, professional baseball too. I still believe I'm one of the best, and I struggle all the time. Like last year, man, I know I hit a baseball, but it was just not a good year for me. I was struggling, and you got to find ways to get through that. And I share, there's a segment on my video of encouragement of, hey, look, if you succeed 3 out of 10 times, man, you're an all-star and All-American. You know what I mean? So you got to learn to deal with those other 7 times.
Well, all right, let's talk about that. Mississippi State struggling a little bit, and you know what it means. You were, even though y'all were insanely successful, you were on some teams that at times struggled. So
all the time, man.
And you just like you and Mangum have told us. I mean, you just got to stay in the saddle, and you got so walk. What's it like to be struggling and have to pull yourself out of that, TA?
Well, there's always 2 voices in your head. There's one voice that says, "Oh, I can do this," and the other voice that says, I don't think I can do this." You know what I mean? You kind of question yourself, but it all falls back onto your preparation, man. Like for us at Mississippi State, when we were really successful, I felt like every time we stepped on the field, we were prepared, we were ready to go. Now they're struggling. They struggled last year. They're struggling this year. I just believe that they got some new guys who have not, played in the dude under the lights with all the people there. New stage, you know what I mean? They're gonna have to grow up. So, and believe me, Jake Mangum, Elijah McNamee, Hunter Stovall, Rowdy, we all went through those growing pains. So I think they're gonna be fine, man. And like I said, you're gonna learn to deal with failure because it's gonna happen. This game, I can guarantee you one thing in this game: you were gonna fail. You know what I mean?
Tell me, National Player of the Year, National Champion, TA Tanner Allen on the Out of Bounds show. Check out his new online hitting course, TannerAllenBaseball.com. Tell me about some of the conversations you would have with Lamonis and Gautreaux when you or y'all were struggling.
So Lim is really good about getting the best out of players. What I mean that is he will stick his foot in your rear end when he needs to, but when you're doing good, he's going, or let's say he'll tear you down and build you right back up. You know what I mean? For instance, if you come in and you're Cadillacing around and you think you're all this and all that, and then the lights come on and you don't produce, he's going to let you know about you're not as good as you think you are. But then he's going to say, I know what we can do to help you get better. And at the end of the day, as a player, as a young guy, I want somebody being honest with me. If they lie to me and tell you how good you are, you're never going to get any better. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm trying to do. These young guys nowadays, all they do is get worship and praise to how good they are. They're not. Man, they haven't done anything in their career. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm a 14-year-old all-star. No. Do you want to play baseball at the next level, you're going to have to get better. You know what I mean?
Sure. So when you would have a bad day in Starkville, were you one that could flush it easily, or did it hang around you?
Man, in baseball, you got to be able to flush it easy. I mean, look at them. They got beat last night, right? A really bad loss. They're playing again today. You got an opportunity today to come back and beat that team and say, all right, let's get this thing going the right way today. You know what I mean? But I tell people a story all the time. My sophomore year, I was just off a year of a freshman All-American season. I thought I was top of the world, you know what I mean? And at the beginning of the year, baseball kind of kicked me in the rear end. Coach Gotro brought me into his office. I'll never forget this. And, man, he chewed me out. And at the time, I was kind of upset about it. But about 3 weeks later, when I got my average up to about 330, I went in there and told him thank you because that's what I needed. You know what I mean? I'll never forget. He's like, man, you think you've done something. You're a freshman All-American, yada, yada. You're hitting 220 right now. You're not helping us win any games. You're being selfish. You're being lazy at first. You think you've arrived. You haven't done anything yet. And, man, that kind of put a spark under my rear end and kind of made me get in gear and try to get better to help us win. And that was the best thing he could have done. Now, a lot of players don't respond to that really well, you know. But
sure.
But you got to learn how to push people's buttons the right way to get them motivated.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that you did, though. You seem like a guy that could take, you know, a tail chewing or a very blunt, candid conversation, and maybe you didn't like it, but it by the time you got on the practice field the next day or in a game, you were like, all right, I'm getting my mind right slowly but surely. Is that how it would work?
Exactly, man. Like I said, he probably last night, I can only imagine what that locker room was like, right?
Ooh.
Bad. I would have been the fly on the wall on that one. But I've been on the receiving end of those nights. You know what I mean? I have many a times. I can tell you Missouri, my last year at State, after they beat us at home, that was not a good one.
Yeah.
You know, but then again, Coach Lynn will come back the next day and completely have a positive attitude talking and basically motivate us. Hey, we got a new day. It's another day to get better and to win the ball game and start getting this thing going in the right direction. And that's the only mindset you can have. I mean, what are you going to do? Show up the next day and still be mad you lost the night before?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to have a short memory and keep playing. And that was kind of our thing my last year at State is our saying was we're going to keep playing. We get behind, just keep playing. You know what I mean? Not lay down. So.
Tanner Allen on the Out of Bounds Show, brought to you by Bulldog Burger. Tanner has rolled out an online hitting course. I think this is a great idea because he can't get to, 1,500 kids in the off season. So you can go to TannerAllenBaseball.com, TannerAllenBaseball.com, and this guy could absolutely rake. And as other people have told us, it's like he has the same swing every time, which is a compliment. All right, TA. So where do you go? Where do you start as far as March 3rd, March 4th? Where are you going? South Florida, I guess. Is that where you're going?
Yes, sir. We're going. So I'll be in reporting spring training in Jupiter, Florida. That's our headquarters down there, and we'll be getting started down there pretty soon.
Yeah.
I was actually working out this morning right before we got on the show, so getting ready for it.
Love it. So now Mangum is with the Marlins, and
right.
So y'all can give each other a hard time,
Hey, yes, sir. It's funny you say that. Jake called me last night, and we were just talking about what's going on, what we're doing down there, and all this other stuff. And he was telling me you better get those legs, better make sure those legs are in shape. And I told him, I said, this isn't my first season with this organization. We like to run a little bit, so he was kind of shocked. So.
Well, have you made it? Did you get to Starkville in the fall or winter or Duty Noble or anything at all?
Yeah. So, man, I've been back and forth. Like I said, I work with a lot of kids in Starkville. My girlfriend's still at Mississippi State, so I go up there and see her all the time. But like I said, man, the first time I did lessons, I started working with these kids and seeing the look on their face after figuring out how to swing the bat correctly, it's priceless. And for me to be just a small fraction of some kid's success in their career would mean the world to me. And that's really why I'm trying my best to give back and help these guys out. Because let's be real, man. I mean, I talk to a lot of guys that recruit, for college baseball. Coach Gotro, one of them. He's
sure.
saying, all the feedback I'm getting is some of these kids are lost. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to get seen. They don't know what to work on. Their parents are going crazy because they're trying to get them to work and find somebody to help them get better. And man, I'm sitting here like I've been down this road these kids are about to go down. I've had a lot of success at it. You know what I mean? Why would I not try to help the next generation of baseball players come up and try to play the game the same way I did and have the same success I did? So
sure.
That's what I'm trying to do.
No, I think it's a great idea. And TannerAllenBaseball.com. Check it out for your 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 14-year-old to find an edge, to get a little bit better at the plate. So much of it, as TA knows, is mental and physical. And TA did it at a National Player of the Year and national champion for Hale State baseball. All right, buddy. We want to stay in touch.
For sure.
Appreciate you jumping on today. I'm super excited about your online hitting course at TannerAllenBaseball.com and that you're going down to Jupiter again this year. And let's stay in touch, my man.
Yes, sir, Mr. Bo, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Tanner Allen on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, National Player of the Year and National Champion while he was in Start Vegas, and will always be a legend in Starkville and in the SEC. So he's got his new online hitting course. You can go to TannerAllenBaseball.com. Also follow Tanner on Instagram. Good dude. He hung out with us, smashed a steak with us last year, and we invited about 6 or 7 people, and he held court. Had some great stories to share with Blake and I and the team. All right. If you missed anything, go to Apple Podcasts. Search Out of Bounds with Bo Bounds. Tanner Allen on the show, brought to you by Bulldog Burger in Ridgeland, Bulldog Burger in Starkville, and Bulldog Burger in Tupelo. This is 105.9 The Zone ESPN, and I'm your host, Bo Bounds.